Coming up on First at 4, a religious revival continues for one town in central Kentucky. And a Supreme Court case has the potential to change how we use YouTube and other social media platforms.
And we've got a late spring preview on the way as we head into late February. The breakdown on when we see temperatures near 80 coming up as First at 4 continues.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
A central Kentucky town is bursting at the seams as a revival enters its third week. Thousands of people are still rolling into Wilmore as revival services are ending for the general public there, but continuing on for young people. WYNT's Phil Pendleton has more on the impact in Wilmore.
This parking lot is several hundred yards away from Hughes Auditorium, where the revival services have taken place. And it has been filling up pretty much all day long. In fact, yesterday the town pretty much had to shut down because of all the people that were coming here.
And it's so overwhelming and it's so powerful.
From the beginning, the focus of what's been happening has been on young people, Generation Z. Naomi Goodwin is from Atlanta, and they came up last weekend to take all of this in.
I was hit with so many emotions at once. It's like I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I wanted to cry. I didn't know if I wanted to scream. I didn't know if I wanted to I did sing a ton.
Singing was taking place inside Hughes Auditorium Monday morning as the university transitions back to more normal chapel services for their students. But outside, the line for the 2 o'clock public service started early Monday morning. People say they felt drawn to come here.
People by the thousands, different states across this nation, different generations, young and old. We have people just from everywhere, even overseas across the nations.
Yeah.
People are flocking to Jesus.
And people are encouraged to follow the asbury.edu website. We will have that on our website as well, where you can follow the links to that to find out exactly how the services are transitioning and changes are coming this week. In Jessamine County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Phil, thank you. The revival is also having a huge impact on businesses in the Wilmore area. We'll have more on that later tonight. With mental health professionals saying suicide rates are increasing among school-aged children, it's important to know and identify the signs of declining mental health before it is too late. Perry County School District Health Coordinator Chris Rush says some of the signs that a child may be struggling mentally is seeing an increase in irritability, loss of interest in things they previously enjoyed doing, or if a child is seeking information on where to find firearms or what certain medications will do to them.
It's ideal to be proactive. You know, not wait until you see something wrong, but to have conversations early on about who is your trusted adult, who would you go to if you're feeling down, if you're feeling maybe like you want to hurt yourself.
Rush says there are multiple resources available for kids to utilize if they are experiencing suicidal tendencies, like texting the number 988 to be connected with the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Folks impacted by the late July floods are still working to get back on their feet, and one group in Pike County has created a mission devoted to helping its people achieve that. Pike County Relief Services is working to connect flood victims with the resources they need to move forward, from spiritual guidance to cleanup crews to getting the basics back in order. Those involved say the group is all about making sure the flood victims are not placed on the back burner.
Just getting the word out. Getting the word out that there are needs, getting the word out to those who have needs that there is assistance, and getting the words out to other people that they can be that assistance.
The group is still working to get more people to report their needs. You can find out more about the efforts tonight at 11.
In overcast skies, a little bit of wet weather is still a possibility as we head through the nighttime hours, watching shower chances continue for parts of this week. Here's the view outside from London Corbin Airport. We are still overcast Low 50s in many spots. Here's the view from we had the view from along Pine Mountain along US 119. We'll continue to see dry conditions work in for at least a little while into the low 50s in many spots out there. Still in the middle and upper 40s across parts of southwest Virginia, but everybody else at least 50, if not a little warmer than that. Few showers pushing through portions of Elliott and into Lawrence counties, into portions of Martin County as well. And a few showers trying to get going across portions of Jackson, Owsley, and northern Clay counties. We had some showers across portions of southwest Virginia earlier. Those continue to push out of the viewing area, but this whole boundary just kind of stays put. So we head through the rest of this week, and that'll provide us with renewed chances for showers and storms. As we head through tonight, zone by zone, temperatures staying mild in the 40s for tonight in the Cumberland Valley. Same thing, low to mid 40s in the Kentucky River Valley. And we'll do the same into portions of the Big Sandy for tonight. Now, I'll have the very latest on when things get a whole lot warmer coming up in a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The Supreme Court is set to hear a case this week that could change how we use Google. WYMT Washington Bureau reporter Molly Martinez joins us now to show us what's at stake.
Back during the Paris attacks in 2015, an American exchange student was killed outside of a cafe. Now her family is seeking justice, but not by suing the terrorists. They're suing Google and YouTube for their role in radicalizing the gunman.
8 years ago, 23-year-old Nohemi Gonzalez was one of 130 people killed during the Paris attacks. Nohemi's family believed the gunmen were recruited to ISIS and radicalized by videos promoted on YouTube. Their case hits the Supreme Court this week, asking the fundamental question: should tech companies be held liable for what others put on their platforms?
How much smarts we should demand of a piece of software is, I think, a good question.
Cybersecurity expert Matthew Curtin explains that since 1996, there has been a protection called Section 230. The rule shields tech companies from being sued for what's on their platform. For example, if someone tweets something libelous about you, you can sue the user, but you can't sue Twitter. Gonzalez versus Google could remove that protection.
If we have the ability to go after a piece of software or somebody running a piece of software for what somebody else has injected into the system, the idea is basically going to be, how do we automate anything?
Gonzalez family lawyers argue that that protection allows for rampant harmful content. But Curtin says the case has the potential to clamp down on what anyone is able to post.
Oral arguments for this case will be heard on Tuesday, but we shouldn't expect a verdict until the justices come out with their published opinions in June. At the Supreme Court, I'm Molly Martinez.
The FBI says it has contained a malicious cyber attack on part of its computer network. Authorities believe it involved a system the FBI uses to investigate images of child exploitation. Sources say the hack targeted the New York field office, one of the largest FBI offices in the country. It's not clear yet where the attack originated. The train derailment in East Palestine, Ohio, is now said to be one of the largest environmental disasters in U.S. history. And while the rail line CEO visited the town this past weekend, those who live near the site of the derailment are worried about their health issues and asking whether officials are being honest about the risk of exposure to chemicals. After officials did a controlled release of the hazardous materials, residents began experiencing nausea, headaches, rashes, and more. Livestock and pets reportedly began dying off, and dead fish were left floating in the chemical-filled waterways. Health concerns are now prompting city officials to close water intake from the Ohio River as remnants from the spill are mounting and rain threatens to spread the threat into other communities.
My nieces, my 13-year-old nieces and my sister got diagnosed today with a type of chemical burn in their lungs. You know, and they're the people that are trying to figure out, what am I going to do? I have enough, money for one night in a hotel.
The CEO of the rail line Norfolk Southern visited East Palestine during the weekend, reiterating that the company has promised to pay for all cleanup efforts. Many in the community say that is little consolation. Coming up as First at 4 continues, paper maps are making a comeback. We'll explain why.
Plus, the latest on waves of rain pushing through the region as we head through this week. All those details straight ahead.